Did someone flip on Joe Biden? Because there's a lot of questions that aren't being asked but should be. And the questions that do get asked get this treatment.
I'm going to defer most of the document questions to Karine.
He has been asked a question a couple of times, and he's answered it, and you all have heard from him on that. I'm going to refer you to the Department of Justice on any specifics to this particular case. I would refer you to the White House counsel's office. I would refer you to the White House counsel's office. I would refer you to the White House counsel's office. I would refer you to the White House counsel's office.
You wondering, like me, how all of a sudden classified documents just started popping up all over the place? What do you think? Big Joe just stubbed his toe in the dark on some boxes of documents? Oh, looky here, classified documents. It's almost as if someone told the Department of Justice where to look for those documents. Let's connect now some of these coincidences. The former head of the FBI's counterintel unit, the New York field office, a unit that was knee-deep in the Crossfire Hurricane investigation of Donald Trump, by the way. His name was Charles McGonigal, his head of the unit. He was likely knee-deep in Spygate, given his position. He was just indicted and accused of taking payments from, among others, a Russian oligarch named Oleg Deripaska. I've always said, remember the names. It's one of the greatest tricks I ever learned as an investigator. Why? Because when a name pops up later, you don't need to go back and look at anything. You can connect the dots right away. Oleg Deripaska is the Russian contact who worked with Christopher Steele, who wrote the debunked dossier they used to frame Donald Trump. Of course, though, the media that's really stupid or maybe really dishonest glossed right over those connections.
He was the top counterintelligence official in charge of hunting spies.
Clearly, they have other evidence, this whole separate case involving the Albanians.
What a blow to the FBI and a punch in the gut for many of us who worked alongside Charlie. His specialty was China. He also worked organized crime, Russian organized crime.
And I think there was some initial thought that the investigation into Deripaska's activities in the U.S. led to a broader investigation, which is tied to those payments that you referenced before.
Remember how I started. Is Joe Biden a foreign agent? Again, I don't mean 007. I mean, was he acting on behalf of foreign governments because of money or something else? And did someone flip on him? Well, did you catch the last part? That last part of that interview there. McGonigal's Russia ties may have led to a broader investigation. Oh, really? What else is going on here? Turns out McGonigal, according to the indictment, not only has ties to Russia, but allegedly has ties to Albania and a Chinese energy conglomerate that has interests in Albania, too. And wouldn't you know it? The New York Times has also reported on China's business connections in, this is just bananas, Albania, which, oddly enough, according to the Washington Post, are the exact same players, these Chinese energy conglomerate, who have ties to Hunter Biden. Let me again show you my shock face. And to put a ribbon on this, according to emails, it appears Hunter Biden's kids may have played sports with the FBI agent's kids. Do they know each other? Well, the wife denies that, as you can see in the New York Post piece. But now something really strange has happened. McGonigal, the FBI agent in question in the indictment, picked a lawyer who was knee-deep in with John Durham, who's running the special counsel investigating the Russia hoax. Now, as a former Fed myself, it'd make a lot of sense if you were about to flip and start cooperating with John Durham's investigation to pick an attorney associated with John Durham. I'm just gonna guess on that. Now you understand why the White House may be getting really antsy when asked about those classified docs. Listen, is it possible that investigators here who initially went after Deripaska, Oleg Deripaska, the Russian, looking to target Donald Trump because of Deripaska's connections to Manafort, Trump's campaign manager, and then they stumbled across the Joe and Hunter Biden connection? They were probably like, don't tell us anymore, it's okay. Fingers in the ears, earmuffs. Did someone then dish on Joe Biden? Did someone flip? And is that how they found out about where the classified documents were? And are all these business bribes outlined in these classified documents? Are some of the same bribes maybe paid to the Biden operation as well? And we know the arrest of McGonigal revolves around influence peddling in Albania, which makes me ask a lot of questions about this Washington Examiner headline about, yes, Joe Biden. We mentioned earlier, he seems to be going really easy on Sinaloa drug cartel operations in, this is crazy, Albania, the same Sinaloa cartel that loves